Tuesday saw one of Pep Guardiola's more head-scratching team selections. Just as at Anfield last season, the Manchester City manager tweaked the greatest strength of a massively successful team, the midfield, in order to try to gain an advantage in a Champions League quarter-final, and, once again, they find themselves behind for the second leg. If you could argue, as Guardiola does, that they actually played well at Anfield, the fact remains that he made a significant change and saw the result go against him. The same goes for the Tottenham game. Riyad Mahrez, Raheem Sterling, and Sergio Aguero found it more difficult to get on the ball with one fewer player in the middle up to support them, while Spurs found they could take the ball further away from the danger of their goal without the pressure that is normal when teams come up against City. This was not the team that everyone is used to seeing, and it has been a strange season in the competition with the coach's unnecessary tinkering, but lingering in Guardiola's head after the game will surely be the fact that it should have paid off. Had the game finished 0-0, the Blues would be overwhelming favourites to progress overall, and the performance would have been largely forgotten, with the result taken as an indication as the manager learning from previous mistakes and showing his side had a different side and could be more cautious to suit the situation. That it did not finish as a draw or even a City victory was not down to the system, but individual errors that can't be accounted for. Sergio Aguero missed a penalty and Fabian Delph, forgetting the basics of football, you could say, switched off not once but twice as he thought the ball had gone out of play when it hadn't. It was of course the manager that picked those players, but it would have been seen as heresy to leave the club's record scorer out, and his hand was somewhat forced in defense. As he said afterwards, at this point in the season there are injuries, there are problems. If losing another Champions League away knockout game will inevitably put more scrutiny on the next one, it is unlikely to deter Guardiola from tweaking, and he may surprise again for the second leg, despite the feeling being that City need to return to their normal attacking style. He spoke late on Tuesday of having to balance attack and defense, and City's coach once more finds himself having to weigh up personnel and tactics. At Monaco 2 years ago, the players tried to defend their lead rather than attack it as instructed, and fell between the two and out of the competition. As Guardiola prepares for what has become a bigger game than expected next week, does he trust his team to carry out a Spurs-specific plan or back them to go back to what they do best? That choice could ultimately decide whether Tuesday's defeat is more significant or irrelevant.